Welcome to the Copperfield Electric Podcast.
Glad to be here.
Today, we are doing a deep dive into an investment decision that I think plagues almost every homeowner who's getting ready to sell.
Oh, absolutely.
Does upgrading your electrical panel actually increase your home's value? And we're not just looking for a simple yes or no answer here.
Right. We're really analyzing the data. We want to understand the true financial, the regulatory, and, the practical ROI of doing this kind of work.
So what's our mission today?
Our mission is to synthesize all this information. We're looking at really three key things. First, the fundamental safety concerns that drive insurance requirements.
Okay.
Second, the modernization needs, for all our new tech. And third, maybe most importantly, the hard financial ROI data.
So we want to give you, the listener, not just the short answer, but the nuanced context to make the best strategic call for your own property.
That's the goal.
Our insights today are primarily drawn from the expertise and the documented field experience of Copperfield Electric. They're a family-owned business providing 24-hour electrical services all throughout Southern California.
We'll talk more about how they can help a bit later, for sure.
For now, let's just focus on the material they've provided us on these market trends.
And what's fascinating here is how the electrical panel upgrade has really shifted. I mean, it's gone from just a maintenance chore into a critical selling feature.
Especially in competitive real estate markets, right, like Southern California.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We've established this deep dive is about property value, but let's start with the fundamental why, the safety, and really the necessity. Why does the electrical panel become the absolute first thing that buyers, or more accurately, their lenders and insurance companies fixate on?
Especially in a house built before, say, the 1980s.
Right.
It really comes down to a matter of critical incompatibility. I mean, homes built decades ago were designed for maybe 60 amp or 100 amp service.
And what did that support? A fridge? A few lights?
A refrigerator, some lights, maybe a window AC unit, a small dryer. That was it.
And today?
Today, we have multiple refrigerators, we have electric water heaters, huge flat-screen TVs, dedicated home office circuits, charging stations for every device imaginable.
They're just drawing exponentially more power.
So much more. So an old panel is essentially an electrical bottleneck.
A bottleneck. I like that analogy.
Precisely. That outdated panel, and often it's a fuse box or just a really old breaker panel, it simply cannot handle the load.
So what happens?
You get circuits that are just perpetually overloaded. And the sources we reviewed, they really stress this point. Constant overload is the single largest risk factor for house fires that are related to the electrical system.
Wow.
Especially in older installations where the wire insulation might be getting brittle.
So if you're still using, say, a 60 amp system, you're immediately flagging your property to a buyer and their insurer as high risk.
Absolutely. And it's beyond just avoiding overloading. A modern upgrade, it forces compliance with the latest safety codes.
Right.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, modern 200 amp panels are actually required to accommodate essential safety components.
You're talking about things like AFCIs and GFCIs.
Exactly. Arc fault circuit interrupters and ground fault circuit interrupters.
Okay, wait. Explain the difference there briefly. Why are those so necessary, and why can't the old panels manage them?
So AFCI breakers are, they're revolutionary. They detect these tiny intermittent electrical arcs that can happen inside the wiring.
The kind that happen right before a fire starts.
The exact kind, and it trips the circuit immediately. Older panels just don't have the space or, the compatible internal hardware to install these modern, larger safety breakers.
I see.
So an upgrade gives you that enhanced safety and really peace of mind. And that immediately translates to buyer confidence.
That makes perfect sense. It signals to the market that the home isn't just functional, it's been proactively protected. You're removing that big regulatory hurdle right off the bat.
You got it.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. The money question. We've established the necessity for safety, but what about the hard cash? Let's dig into the numbers here. What's the typical investment, and what kind of return can you realistically expect when you go to sell?
Right. The investment range is, it's widely cited, but this is where the nuance is really critical. The sources we looked at indicate that a basic panel replacement,
So like going from an old 100 amp to a new 100 amp.
or a very straightforward 200 amp swap, that might fall in that $1,500 to $3,000 range. But,
Right.
and this is a big but, that's just for the panel itself.
Right, because I've heard horror stories of costs just skyrocketing way higher than that, what pushes the price up and, lowers that ROI calculation.
Exactly. And this is the detail we really need to highlight. If the upgrade requires you to replace the entire service entrance conductor,
Those are the main wires coming in from the utility pole.
yes. Or if the meter base itself needs to be moved or replaced to meet current code, the cost can easily jump over $5,000, even $6,000.
So the true cost might be a lot higher than an initial quote.
It can be. So when you're evaluating the ROI, you have to factor in the specific scope of what your home actually needs.
Okay, so let's talk return. The sources say homes sell faster and for a higher price. But wait, if the typical cost is only a few $1,000s, why are buyers negotiating $5,000, $10,000, even more $1,000 off an asking price just to avoid an old panel?
Is it really that small expense they're afraid of?
Yeah.
That is the crucial insight. It's not the dollar amount of the repair itself that deters the buyers.
It's what?
It's the unknown scope, the inconvenience, and the bureaucracy.
Wow.
When a buyer sees an outdated panel, they immediately envision permits, inspections, days without power.
And the risk that the work might uncover even more code issues.
Like needing to replace the service mast or the underground conduit.
Yes. So that's the barrier. An upgraded panel just removes all that anxiety.
Precisely. By upgrading before you list the house, you're taking away a major contingency and a huge negotiation point.
So the ROI isn't necessarily a dollar-for-dollar increase on the final price.
Not always. The value is realized in preventing a big deduction from your asking price and, just as importantly, speeding up the sale.
The data supports that.
Data suggests homes with these modern upgrades are genuinely more marketable. They sell faster.
So if you invest, say, $3,000 in the upgrade, and it saves you from a $7,000 price reduction and cuts your time on the market by 3 weeks.
That's a fantastic return on your investment and a key selling point.
It's the elimination of those potential, immediate, and totally unknown future costs that makes it so appealing.
It essentially pre-qualifies the home as turnkey in that one crucial category.
Okay, so beyond handling the safety requirements and making the home easier to sell today, what does this all mean for the future-proof homeowner?
That's a great question.
How does a 200-amp upgrade position the home for modern trends like sustainability and smart tech?
This is where the upgrade shifts from being a necessity to being an opportunity. In a market like Southern California, we are seeing a dramatic rise in demand for sustainability integration.
Solar panels, things like that?
Solar panels, high-efficiency heat pump water heaters, sophisticated smart home automation systems. Newer, robust panels are absolutely essential for supporting all of that.
I can imagine the integration process is, well, messy if you have an ancient panel.
It's functionally impossible in a lot of cases. Solar, for example, requires a modern main panel to safely tie the generated power back into the grid. It's a process called backfeeding.
Why?
And if we look at just functionality, modern panels are essential for supporting the sheer number of high-demand devices that buyers now expect.
And we've seen this reflected in the growing demand for dedicated EV charging infrastructure, especially in areas like Orange County. That's a massive electrical draw, isn't it?
It is a huge draw. A level 2 EV charger often needs its own dedicated 40-amp or 50-amp circuit, which is half of an old panel's entire capacity.
Exactly. If a home is running on an old 100-amp panel that's already maxed out by the air conditioning and the dryer, there is zero capacity left for charging an electric vehicle.
So installing a 200-amp panel is really the foundation. It doesn't just fix a problem. It future-proofs the home.
It does. It opens the door to major energy savings and high-demand tech that the modern buyer just expects to see.
Especially those eco-conscious buyers who are really looking for green living.
And that's the key. It adds value because it allows the new owner immediate access to these popular lifestyle choices, solar, smart tech, EV charging, without having to spend thousands right after closing.
Buyers recognize that foundational requirement.
They absolutely do.
All right, let's bring this deep dive home with a quick recap for you, the listener. We found that upgrading your electrical panel delivers value in 3 pretty distinct ways. First, enhanced safety and code compliance. This eliminates major fire risks, and it makes getting insurance way easier. Second, increased market appeal. This leads to faster sales, and it really strengthens your negotiating position against those last-minute price deductions.
Which can save you thousands.
And third, the strategic ability to integrate modern, energy-efficient, and smart home systems, which future-proofs your investment for high-tech living.
The data is clear. I mean, investing in a panel upgrade is definitively a smart, strategic decision.
Whether you're doing it for safety right now or to prepare your home for a profitable sale down the road.
It's a foundational element of true long-term property value.
So before we wrap up, what's the final, most strategic thought for the listener who is now, convinced they should do this upgrade?
Okay, if future capacity and energy efficiency are the key drivers for value, the question isn't just if you should upgrade your panel.
It's what else you should do.
It's what other energy-saving solutions you should bundle with the upgrade to maximize your total ROI before you sell.
That's interesting. So, look, if you are already tearing into the electrical service to upgrade to 200 amps, consider installing the necessary wiring for a level 2 EV charger in the garage.
While the walls are already open.
While the electrical scope of work is already underway, or the transfer switch components for solar integration, it turns a necessary repair into a powerful suite of modern selling points that vastly outweigh that initial cost.
That strategy turns a safety upgrade into a total asset package for the new homeowner. That's brilliant.
It's just smart planning.
For reliable, professional, and knowledgeable electrical services, and to speak to the experts who provided the insights for this deep dive, you should check out Copperfield Electric.
They're licensed, background checked, and insured.
And they service the entire Southern California region, including all of Orange County, Irvine, Anaheim, Santa Ana, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, Mission Viejo, and all the surrounding areas.
A great team.
Thank you for diving deep with
Yeah.
us. That concludes this deep dive.